Hello people of YouTube and beyond, Nerdy Transformed here again. I thought I'd cover some from my childhood. With all the things of the Target Masters being the thrilling 30s and the Headmasters being reintroduced into Titan's Return, I thought I'd go back and cover one from, well, I remember from my childhood. Here we have the Transformers Armada MaxCon Overload. And yeah, MaxCon was what the size class was called back then. And of course with this mini-con, because Armada, every character had a main-con, Overload. Who, going into the bios before I look up, I can remember actually one of the Armada comics kind of implying that yes, Rollout and Overload are two separate people, but from everything else I'm seeing, it's kind of more of like a mech suit kind of thing. Or maybe it's more like how Steven Universe is. They combine together in their fusion forms a different thing. Who knows? Anyway, we can see that Overload is a thing. Certainly a trailer. Well, basically, his design is meant for making this huge convoy thing by either attaching to Optimus or whatever else. And basically, he's meant the whole Jetfire. As you can see, Armada Jetfire fits perfectly right on, seeing the rockets right against these pieces. But you can also see he's kind of like a battle platform, as he has all kinds of little weapons and gizmos on him, including these flip-out cannons. So, we give him the full fire effect. And as you saw, he is about the same size as Jetfire. And for another comparison, here's that, like, deluxe-ish size Nemesis Prime. Unfortunately, my Optimus Prime is broken, and I don't want to really risk too much by playing with him much, so I don't really transform him. So Nemesis Prime's going to have to do for these demonstrations. Also, the trailer's completely missing from my Armada Prime, but you can get the basic idea. You can either unplug him, and then you could, or you would probably actually leave him attached, but to keep the height right, but you can flip this down, it would attach to the back of Armada Prime's trailer to kind of get this God Jinrai effect. Or, this is on the full-size Leader Class one, but it works for the deluxe-size Optimus and Nemesis too. They do have a peg on the back for a trailer effect. And yeah, you can get fully turned. And on Rollout himself, his Mini-Con peg that he uses is ball jointed, so you can get some pretty nice turns with it. Especially when you move the guns out of the way. So, lots of little fun there. Lots of nice detail, too. You can just kind of see all over. Just lots of... This is one of the things I like about Armada, just all the details they put on these things. Sure, Armada toys have a lot of flaws, but they're pretty nice looking figures. Really nice little blocky ones. You can see Rollout's kind of like a fire truck, or maybe a missile truck, some kind of military thing. But the colors kind of make me think like a fire rescue kind of thing, so I'm not sure. And you can see his, if the camera wants to focus, he does have a mini-con symbol right behind his last window. So to transform him, it's pretty simple. Well, actually, if you want, let's talk about his weapon mode first. Because Rollout is a target master. All you basically do is flip it over, pull out the guns. There's your weapon mode. As you see, he has two big cannons on top and two smaller cannons on the bottom. And basically any figure can hold this. Or if you find, say, like a plug-in port for any figure, you can plug them in like that. Or you can also use the mini-con port to attach them to a lot of different vehicles. I'm just going to use Overload here for an example. Or if we want to get Nemesis Prime back out, you could peg him to the top there and give him a giant overhead cannon. It does look ridiculous, but, you know, if you go for the, what's it called, Magna formation with Optimus Prime for a super mode, it does become like a hand weapon for him. So, let's get to his robot mode now, since we covered that. Gonna take the legs, bring him down. Now, this is where my Rollout's actually kind of broken. Just from years of playing, the joints that hold these in, because he does part form, one of them has broken, but it's not that big of a deal. So what you're going to want to do is come down here, pull this part down, and yeah, the leg, even when the legs were not broken, they still very loose fit. As you see, even when it's not broken, barely hangs on. But that's because you're supposed to swap them around. Apparently Armada did not understand the idea of turning something. Come back here, gonna pick these little guns from his flap, because these form his. They're just kind of pegged in there, but can be kind of tight. These come forward and go down to form his arms. This flap folds back, comes to the chest, pop it open, flip out his little head. And once you reattach his leg, because mine's, like I said, mine's just really loose, even when it's not broken. Oh man, no, all the joints are loosening up on this guy. There you have your really tiny little rollout. He is kind of big for a minicon. If I had another one, he is about 1.5 times the size of a normal minicon. He's about what a normal Legends class would be today. And yeah, normal day for Armada. Not much articulation, not much pain on these minicons. All he can do is move his arms, and you can kind of get them going outward if you use the transformation joint. But enough movement in the legs except for like swivels, and no movement in the head. But he is a nice big chunk of plastic, and he does look nice. And he has guns for hands, so he can shoot things out. Do not want to mess with him. So basically, how Overload here works is he kind of just forms a big mech suit. So we're going to set Overload to the side for now with his broken leg. You're going to come back here first off. You're going to get these pieces and peg from these pieces right there. Bring them down. Come inside, separate them. And you're going to kind of have them start twisting outward until you can kind of get them twist. You want to basically do 180 with them, but as you do, because of the armor, you're going to have to slowly pull them up. Because now, you turn the figure around like this, because that's how he stands. Go ahead and pull these parts out to form his feet. These parts separate and go back on these hinges, much like Rollout, and peg. You gotta make sure. Oh yeah, these are the guns from earlier. You gotta make sure they're actually all the way flipped up, because that's what these arms peg into. Then you're gonna come to the back, flip the arms around, bring them down on these ratchet joints. Now they actually slide up. You'll see little towers pop out, so the arm gets a bit smaller, which is also kind of what they call them Ultra Magnus in Japan. You're gonna flip these bits up. It can be. There we go. To get his hands out. And there's the kind of the mech suit, and this is where Rollout kind of becomes his headmaster. Basically, you're gonna get him back into his truck mode. Peg the feet back in. Oh wait, not yet. You want to flip the arms back, actually. Peg those in. Then peg the feet in, they'll peg into the arms. And that holds the little truck mode nice and tight together. Come to the front, open it up, flip the head down. Then you're going to grab the whole piece the head was attached to get Overload's head out. Which is very nice. It's definitely different from Rollout's head. It kind of looks like a bigger version, but it's definitely a lot more detailed, a lot more. He does kind of the Ultra Magnus look, so I can see why Japanese Ultra Magnus. Anyway, kind of just fit him in on the rivet, push him back, and when you push him back all the way, there's a button right there. When you push him back all the way, you get. I still love that sound effect. Oh my god, I probably annoyed my mom with that sound effect for hours as a kid, because that's just the exact transformation sound effect, and I just still love it. So yeah, there he is in his giant robot mode. Alright, just to go ahead and get the size comparisons out of the way. Here he is next to Jetfire from the same series, who I believe was also a MaxCon, who's a bit taller but not quite as bulky. And here he is next to Nemesis Prime, who's kind of your standard deluxe size, so you can see he's probably about. He's about the size the Voyagers were for Energon and Cybertron. So he's about. Because our current Voyager is about like 1.5 the size of the deluxe. He'd be like what we would call an ultra class, sort of, for classics and such. But yeah, here's Overload. He's a pretty nice looking mech. He's kind of has like a power loader look to him. He just lots of cool details, big bulky proportions. He's ready to smash stuff. He needs a repaint as the Hulk. That's the kind of guy he is. He also has a cool transformation sound effect. So yeah, you get, again, kind of the whole Ultra Magnus effect going on here. He has lots of mini-com ports. Got one on each arm, one on each leg, and the towers at the top of his shoulders are also mini-com ports. And technically he has one behind his head, but not. Well, you could probably fit one on there if you push it back and have like a mini-com port that was close to the end. As far as personality-wise, I don't really remember much about him from the show. I just remember that he was kind of this big powerhouse that would form giant guns and stuff. As far as articulation goes, well, nothing in the head. This is Armada. Armada had very little articulation. The shoulders go around on a ratchet. Yep, they go around on a ratchet. They do not go outward. could kind of do the Megazord thing and use the transformation joint to punch inward, I guess, but it doesn't really work. He does not have elbows, but he does have a swivel. The hands don't do anything. Nothing at the waist. The legs are actually where he has a lot of articulation. They go forward. They don't go back much. They go outward. They do swivel. And the feet have a little bit. Okay, yeah, this guy's a brick. But he's a big, bulky brick with a transformation sound effect, and I still love it. Plus, the little Oddbot symbols, how they have like a thing around them, and yeah, they are a little worn from time, but what can you do? The big, nice Oddbot symbols just kind of make me think of like a Commander, or, well, a Magnus. He's pretty just intimidating. I mean, you wouldn't want that thing coming after you. I don't care how little its arms and legs move. You don't want that coming after you, especially not with that face. This really actually is kind of nice sculpted face, actually, now I look at it. He's a really nice figure. Really nice, big and bulky one. And like I said, okay, maybe not the best for collectors as far as articulation goes, but I don't really need to pose that guy as much. When he can just stand there and look like this. I love it. He does have a gimmick, though. Since he really doesn't carry a weapon, the flaps that have the Oddbot symbols, these little pieces of Oddbot symbols, do actually open up to reveal some missile pods. And they're each individually painted, too, so that's pretty nice, actually. And you can use the poses to get his legs a little bit apart, just to kind of give him like a really powerful stance. He can just stand there and shoot you. He doesn't need his arms. He can just shoot Nemesis here, and down he goes. So yeah, he's really kind of cool. He, like I said, giant brick, but really cool brick. And this one shoulder is not going to lock in. He does have one more mode, where he would combine with Optimus Prime on the top in his super mode. Like I said, Roller just kind of turns into the Target Master. You know, gun mode, shoot, shoot, bang, bang. Overload actually part forms. His legs are on these sliders. This is the only mode where you need to use them. You actually slide the bottom of his legs off. Take the leg, what's left of the legs. Gonna kind of just turn them back towards how you use in vehicle mode. Because this piece right here actually folds open. See, this little slider piece comes out. And if I had Optimus with me in the super mode, there's actually a little railings come out the back of him that he slides onto. Now for the rest of it, go ahead and pop them back down. Or extend them. Face him forward. Oh, he's a really loud figure. I wonder why my parents hate me with this figure. But you're basically kind of like just close everything up. You're kind of left with. Let's see if we can get back with this. You're going to take the feet, pop open this panel, fold them in to get the back of the feet are these giant barrels. So when you pop the panel open and fold the feet in, you're left with them. You want to attach them to where the peg and the peg hole are on the outside. And when you attach them, you want to make sure the silver bit's up, because they don't fit right going the other way. So you're left with this. This big hulking cannon backpack. You gotta remember, it actually sits on Optimus' back like this. And if I remember correctly... let me get this right. If I remember correctly, these actually fall right over his shoulders. So right about here is where Optimus' shoulders would be in super mode. So he basically just gets these humongous cannons, and it forms what I believe called Magna Prime. And if you got Jetfire in on it too, it's Jet Magna Prime or Jet Magna Optimus or something like that. It's still really cool. And it's kind of also what's called like I think it's called like Ultra Maximus or something like that, or Ultra Prime, something along those lines. It's just a really cool combination. It looks ridiculous, but it's also really cool. And if you want, you could fold these up, flip the whole thing over. It's your toy, do what you want. You can kind of make like a battle platform. And of course, you could take Rollout and kind of put him somewhere. As a kid, that's what I would do. I'd just kind of have him display like this, with like as a battle platform kind of thing. So, like I said, it's your toy, do what you want. It can be really cool. But yeah, that's basically it for Overload. He's a really simple figure, but even today I still like him. Maybe it's just my nostalgia, but honestly, just kind of have after having all these like Titan returns and headmasters and all that are kind of thin and frail. It's kind of nice to just go back to a figure who's big and bulky, and that's all he is. But at the same time, that's all he needs to be. Heck, his gimmicks even work around the fact that he's not big and bulky. Or that he's big and bulky and can't move much, because he doesn't need to. He can just sit here and just destroy everything from where he's at. He doesn't need to move. Who needs movement? But yeah, he's a cool figure, and I think if you like the Armada style, just of high detail, decent paint, and just big bulky block dudes, I think you would like him. He's a pretty good one. So, I'm Nerdy Transformed. I hope you have a good day, and I hope you take care.